Hello and welcome to another stream of, well, me and today, Tabletop Junkie stream. Yay. Yeah. Chris, you keep saying Fig Newtons. I don't know why. So today so in this stream, we are going to do a small solo play where I'm going to introduce to you guys a Pyromancer named Axel Crim. He's a Pyromancer with red hair, green eyes. He's, of course, a Caucasian. Because he was modeled after my son. And you know what? If anyone wants to draw conclusions on that, you're more than welcome to. But if it becomes too much of an issue, you could take it elsewhere. Is all I'm gonna say. I get to choose. I choose how my stories go. You don't. All right. So we are part of. All right. So let's get started here, and I'm gonna share with you guys the screen that I'm on because I'm gonna show you where Axel Crim is actually from. So, I don't know if I can blow that up. Let's see here. Where are you? There we go. Right here, which is right there. I love on how you get two different maps. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So, all right. So, it is I'm here. All right. So, I'm here is a human settlement with a small Karag population. So it is also from the description here. It is a port city where ships begin making their way. So this city does rely on trade and whatnot. It is warmed by the fires of the mountains. So I think it's like embedded in like underground a little bit. So it's like if you come up here, you could be like standing like right where it should be, but it's a little bit underground. Let's see here. Farming is difficult, but several small farms and herds of sheep are kept by residents. And this is the passage right here. That is like an amazing passage. So yeah, from the looks of it, and it is warmed by the fires of Terra, Sol System, so Earth then. Yes, Earth. This is and that's the thing. They actually tell you, so this is a settlement, and still gives you the galactic region. It just adds more to it, and it's on the Emsir continent. So this is where we are at. We've got some fauna, flora, lots of stuff that you could play around with. So, all right. Anyway, I'm telling a story. So, Ibe here is a small settlement of primarily humans with a small Karag population. They rely on trade. They are they are in the southern Fajal area, so of the Fajal nation, and we are actually going to go into the Fajal a little bit. So, uh, while territory of Fajal is considered by the rest of the world to be an independent nation, this small collection of city-states does not consider themselves to be a unified government or even a federation of city-states. Awesome sauce. So we are all independent. This is the entire area of where I am from, and I'm from here. So we have all of these areas, but we are independent from one another. What? No, once upon a time. You're ruining the story, Chris. Once upon a time existed a city called Abhir, which had a small settlement of human population and a small, or no, was primarily human population with a small settlement of Kara. It is a peaceful place to live, as it is warmed by the fires of the underground. I'm pretty sure the pyromancers of this area had something to do with it too. So we are okay with that. We are going to bring into the scene a young man of age 15 known as Axel Crim. Parents were eventually killed off. They actually died fighting a battle. We don't know what kind of battle or war yet. We're going to reveal that later. Fighting a battle. So he has been orphaned. But he has made his time in gold by making sure that the farms are meeting everything. He does deliver things from people locally, from the ships. And he pulls a cart. Which is terrible for this character because he's really not that strong. So, oh wait, he is strong. Never mind. He has a strength score of 7, which is high. Average score for anybody in these times are like between 1 and 10. So he's got a 7 for strength and 8 for intelligence, but he's not very fast. He's only got a 3 dexterity, which hurts his flow. Hurts his flow. So, oh yeah, I gotta re-roll the hit points here real quick because we're gonna have some battles. All right, and you guys don't get to see that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, and then we count 4s, 5s, and 6s. Cool. Huh. Hurts his mojo, baby. Yeah, not being very fast because I imagine with fire it would, you would have to be quick with dexterity, but oh yeah, and you do. Okay, I gotta look up HP real quick because I'm still not getting the scores that I need. Wonder as to why. What am I doing wrong? There we go. Oh, that's hit damage. That's not hit dice. Oh, I had the. Oh, here we go. Okay, I had it. Okay, I had it right the first time, sort of. Oh boy, had it right the first time. Okay, there we go. Much better. Now I figured out what I was doing wrong. Okay. All right. So, oh god, I got the formula back up. All right, back to my story here. All right. I take it it's an entirely magic based game. I wouldn't call this magic per se, just but yeah, sort of. So anyway, the weather in Ebhir is often gloomy. We don't very much see the sun. Houses are primarily made of rock and stone and dirt. Um, and such as very little are on the city picks out above ground level. So the city is cut out of the small bluff, roughly 30 feet above sea level. This protects the city from harsh winds and below along the tundra about half the year. So imagine, so the city is like somewhat sunk, um, a little bit, but it has protection of wall from the water. So, um, Terra. So this is the planet Terra in the Sol system, or in the Sol region of the galaxy, and this is one small settlement known as Abhir. And once again, we keep establishing that, so we're gonna keep going. Oh, okay. And my kids are watching. So Axel Crim is a human pyromancer that you make sure he unloads the ships and the docks, and he tries to get everything outloaded. It does work. He does work very harsh, day and night. This I think I'm gonna make a roll to see how well this works, to see how well he does. For a strength check of this thing of pulling carts, I get to make a 76 roll. Woohoo! So let's see how many. This roll, each success of this roll, which are going to be fives and sixes, are going to simply determine. We're going to get rid of this. Are going to simply determine how many people I get per hour. how many deliveries I make per hour. So booyah, 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 and booyah. I make, okay, so I hit 3 home residents per hour, which that, he's pretty strong at pulling the cart. Um, and that is actually pretty quick. Maybe a little bit of a dex check, but I don't think so. So he does manage to get, so the town is abnormally, or is kind of small. So anyway, he always notices like some of the Kara are like around, like they are, he does deliver to some Kara as well. However, the Kara are very small in population, so he doesn't really know any Kara by name. But he does see them from quite often. He has never met a Kara that wasn't the Kara that he knows are not Mancers at all. They do not have a class. So they're not but the ones that he imagines that the Kara would be Petromancers, as that they are made of stone. Boy, isn't he going to be wrong. So on his delivery day, he notices that another ship comes in after he gets everything done. And he notices this Kara gets off. I'm going to actually roll and see what this Kara is, but anything but a Petra. Oh yeah, I'm going to so take that. This Kara is dressed a little bit different. He notices that they are wearing some form of garments, or they have something etched into their stone skin. He's never seen anything like this before, so he doesn't know what this means. But they have came to this port, which is very, very rare in some cases to see visitors. But he sees this Kara unload, just comes right off this ship. And he comes and he approaches and says, "Boy, I need to speak to the Kara in the city." So Axel, not knowing, because he's not of anyone of extreme importance, just points him to the direction where they mostly hang out. And he travels there. He's never really spoken to Kara beforehand. So not really sure what to say. And that one, especially one that is visiting the port. So he finishes his dues for the day, gets his gold. For the sake of argument, we're gonna since he delivered, he did deliver to multiple people today, so he did get a decent amount of gold. We're gonna establish money later. Once he was done for the night, he returned to his stone home and basically rested as his muscles ached. Achy muscles, pulling a cart all day. But, he begins trying to recall some history of the Kara, which is an intelligence roll. Let's see here. 4 plus the modifier. Modifier for intelligence is 4, so I get to roll 8 dice. I have no ranks in it. Fives and sixes only. And I did get a 2, which is actually fairly average. It's actually, I think, a success is 1, fairly average is 2, and then near impossible is 3. So he does recall that the Kara are from the Kara Union on their own planet, and is wondering, and does notice that a few travel here for different types of trade, and they just had a small, they do colonize the outer one. So as to why a Kara would come here to speak to Kara only is kind of strange to him. He figures, why would they, is this supposed to be anything other than the wallpaper on screen? Yeah, a little bit when I get to it. There's nothing there now. If you guys are like, I can put the map back up. so you guys can see this area. There's really no map I've made for this, just so you guys are aware. Like I said, it's a solo play, a little bit of storytell, just to get my things in for get my streams in for the week, because streams are going to become more and more scarce this month, sadly. So I don't really want to talk about it on stream. That's something. Okay, just wanted to check we weren't missing anything. Oh nope, you're good, Colin. I think about that. I just don't really want to talk about why streams are going to be very scarce this month, so we'll just leave it alone. Anyway, so, and I'm not sure if this story fits the lore of what we have going on. That is nothing you guys need to see. That was a Decimancer, though. I love the artwork of these. Psychic people. Anyway, let me get those out. Let me get those out of there. Oh, you guys don't need to see the classes. I'm definitely going to share the link to this. Okay, so, anyway, back to the story. So he's beginning to be curious as to why a semi-clothed Kara with weird markings on his skin came to this small town. Nothing really comes to this place for much business. It's just an isolated area. Surgery for your funny bone. Haha. Is it broken? Explain a lot. Anyway, so hardly anything ever comes here. This is a very small town. And it's just isolated. I think it would be isolated. I'm not sure if it's counted. I mean, you know what? Let's see here. You guys can here's the area. Like, we're down here in the Fajal area. Fajal. I gotta see how that is pronounced. And I do apologize for the constant stopping in the story. Yeah, Fajal. Okay. That is how it's. Like I said, this is my first time running this game, so you know, and the lore, I'm just trying to figure out how the lore is and try to keep it towards that. So yeah, hardly anyone ever comes here, and why anyone would come here for the small population of Kra is beyond them. So we shall see. So anyway, afterwards, Axel has decided to, put on a cloak, because he does have like a small cloak that it helps travel, keeps him warm at night. He puts kind of like a monk or a Jedi. He has a cloak, but not really. It's not like a Jedi's cloak, but it's like just a small cloak to keep you warm. And he travels out to see if he can actually look for this Kara that is looking at that phalanges. So as he goes there, he notices that there is a gathering in the center of the city, whatever the center may be. It's probably, I imagine it's got the center of this would be like sort of down in a cave with like a single like monument connecting the ground to the roof, and he is standing on a rock preaching to these Kara. Not as to sure why. So Kara are not well known for causing trouble. This is very, very abnormal for anyone to be doing. So as he's talking about, he is, as he approaches, he begins listening in. And he listens in, let's see here. No, that would be perception. I get to roll another 8 dice. Amen to that. 1, 2, 3. And I definitely scored on listening in. So he gets close enough where he's got excellent hearing. So he gets in to listen close enough. And the Kara speaks about how that there is a tournament going on. And he goes, brothers, there is a tournament in the galaxy at Hearing. One person is running this tournament. I need a team of people, a team of Kara, to show that we are more than just mere colonists, that the Kara maybe not should be feared, but that we are still that we are a force in this galaxy. Now, the problem that does scare Axel a bit in this is that he is talking about being a force. The Kara actually has no care in the world for this. No care in the world for this at all. He knows this. Naturally, their species doesn't care. They are sort of peaceful. They have very little governance, but he is talking about joining a team together, and he wants it all to be a Kara. A team of Karas. Of Mancers. Or anyone who can partake in training in classes. So, for this grand galaxy tournament. So, as he listens in, Axel does, like, get intrigued by the games and is wondering how he can join. So, he goes up to the Kara speaking, and he says, "Excuse me, sir." And he takes off his hood. "I would love to join your team." And the Kara's, he bellows this huge laugh of, "Ha ha 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 ha. Really? Well, I don't have any place for a human on this team. This is for my brethren, my people of my kind only." And Axel is confused. He's like, "Are you putting together a team of Kara, or is this tournament only for Kara?" And he says, "I am putting together a team of Kara, and is not got nothing to do with you, human. If you want to join the tournament, be their guest, but the tournament is very dangerous and is not anything mere for a mere boy." And Axel begins get kind of angry. So he's like, "I may be a boy, but I can fight." And one of his Kara companions goes, "Sir, I don't think you should interject with this boy any longer. Be gone." "Oh, come on, you can do better than the bellowing laugh." Maybe. I don't know. I'm not an actor. And they're trying to, so one Kara comes up and approaches him. And Axel begins forming fire in his hand and around him, and he's like, "Ah." So the one Kara that's got the markings all over him goes, "Ah, a Pyromancer. What makes you think you could take me on, boy?" And he's like, "Well, I guess we'll find out." And he's like, "I guess we will. I guess we will." And so then he's like, "An exhibition match. We shall see how this works. If I win, you leave and you forget about this team of Kara that I'm trying to form. But if you win, I will allow you to join my spot, and you will represent my people, not humans. And definitely not humans from Terra." Axel says, "I accept under one condition. I want one thing. Why do you have a problem with other races and other species of other planets?" He's like, "I will tell you that, assuming I have a problem." He's like, and of course Axel begins thinking like, "Of course you have a problem. You freaking don't like anyone else but Kara, and you're trying to do something with Kara only." We very, very, very ominous with this one. Very ominous. All right, so I'm gonna pull up a sticky note here real quick because I'm gonna quickly fill in a Kara NPC. All right. All right. So yeah, I can take some questions now if anybody has any. any questions that I probably didn't answer in the scene. Real quick while I'm filling this in, this does happen a lot during gameplay. For those who are, I mean, well, Spartacus doesn't know, but Archer Colin knows that we do have this happens a lot where we got to stop and I got to fill in stuff for an NPC. So you know, this does happen. And I'm just going to do an average roll because we don't know how serious this person's going to play. Or play out. That wasn't a bad roll at all. Mm-hmm. Oh, Archer Cullen. He says, I'm actually interested to know why they have what is obviously Earth, but with a different geography. Maybe they'll explain a bit when I check out the site. We're gonna have to BBQ Axel or Alien. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. All right. So now here we go. I gotta get just gotta get some modifiers out here, people, and we should be gold to start this fight. So, maybe because I mean you got to add in your own version of Earth. I mean, if you really think about it, when it comes to role playing, we all have our own version of Earth. Um, that's not changed. I mean, even Paramore is kind of like a version of Earth, but well, why is Middle Earth different from Afro Eurasia? It's a storytelling thing. Yeah, it's just a plot element. Nothing to really. It's a thing. All right, so getting the modifiers. All right. And let me get this guy's HP going here. Okay, so Cross HP. 3d6 plus 1 plus res. And then 6d6 to start. All right. 31. 34. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. I get all that, but if you're making a different setting, why not just give it another name? Must be my pedantic side. I mean, it's hard to really say, to be honest. Okay, so. I've already got my level that's going to be added to this. So here we go. Here we go, people. Here we go. All right. So the way this works is base attack bonus, base attack defense, and you can also do a reaction. And the way I hear combat works, well, if they're calling it Terra and not Earth. Okay, here we go. All right, first we got to roll initiative. So that is going to be Dex and Intelligence, +4. Oh, you don't even. I don't even think you roll that. Oh no, you do. And you count that number of 6. And then you count the 6s only. All right, so initiative for this guy He gets to roll 7. Well, I get to roll 9, and we count 6s only. He's got none. And I got none. Oh, this does come up with a tie. We both got no 6s. So let's see. The tiebreaker. If the 2 or more combatants get the same number when rolling initiatives, these combatants re-roll their initiatives to determine. Okay, well. Alright, so I get 1, 2. Alright. So I got a 2. And he's going to get 0. So, okay. Alright, so Axel gets, of course, the first strike. So we're going to figure out how this works. Alright, so reaction. Oh, I got to pull up. What I got to pull up for this guy here. Oh, boy, that's already terrible for me. And reaction is the sum of your base bonus and your intelligence. Oh, okay. Well, whatever the sum of 2 are. Okay. So Axel takes off his cloak and begins swirling himself with a little bit of, just begin using his fire. Like I said, story thing. Yeah, gentlemen. Yeah, gentlemen. All right, moving on. Telling the story again. So, his very first move is going to be, of course, his fire blast. And he's going to use it offensively, so I get to roll 2d6 plus 1 against the reaction. 1, 2. Oh boy, that did not work really well, did it? Alright, so I believe it's against the reaction. Oh, here we go. Huh. Oh, here we go. That's combat. I need damage. Okay, hit. Okay, so wind. Oh, we both got to roll dice. Oh, I like that. It's fiction. Judge the world. All right. So, yeah, I got 1. Well, let's see what he gets against his. It's not against his reaction. It's against his defense. I thought it was like reaction, like if he tries to dodge or something. I got 1 success, and we roll against his defensive formula, which incorporates just whatever he's got for defense. Huh. Which is just, I'm pretty sure there's a way to defend. Not sure if it's Dex. Okay. Alright, well, we'll just roll what we got here. I'll just roll his reaction and see what it comes up to. More than me? More than me? Oh, boy. Yep. So, Axel's not doing so well on that. Oh, boy. That's freaking terrible. That's freaking terrible. Let me see how reaction works. Oh, for God's sake. Oh. It's under damage. There we go. Oh, okay. Example. Oh, that's a hit point formula. No, I just want to know, like, it doesn't matter. The attack missed, or even worse, it's absorbed. um, totally did not do well on that at all. So reaction says it's a sum. That is so weird. Oh, that's because that's not a dice. That is a, oh, I was reading that wrong. There we go. Now I figured that one out. That's pretty much yeah. Okay, so to describe the scene a little bit better, so he begins. Axel uses his fire blast, so that way he doesn't have to get close, and he begins channeling his ki right into like a fist of fire, and he shoots fire right at the guy. However, he was able to react. However, the Kara was able to react, and Axel completely missed him. Given that reaction, he is. I am gonna give him. Yeah. Given that reaction, he is going to like come at Axel in a very aggressive way. Um, and actually, we're gonna find that out here in a minute. Let's see here. Oh, geez. I totally got this guy underpowered, but wait, we'll live with it. Let's see, what does this do? Nothing worth, nothing worth mentioning. Let's see, how does he do this? No, no, no. It's his turn to attack. Oh, there we go. There we go. And how long does this last? Doesn't have a duration. All right, so as Axel missed the fire, missed the fire. The Kara was able to dodge that fire, and before he knew it, a black sphere joined around the area, around his area, increasing, having the gravity increased around him. Um, making him unable to move. Let's see here. This lasts. Oh wow, this only takes down half the speed. Yep. So my speed's cut in half, making him harder to. He's having a hard time moving. Let's see here. What's Axel's next move? Well, I do have wild aggression, which I don't. Oh, that just gives me a strength bonus, but that's not going to help in this one. Eh. You know what? I'll. No, no, that's not going to help in this one at all. Now, unless he tries to go in and punches the guy, he can barely move. Well, I guess he's going to just move. He suddenly goes. Okay, so Axel suddenly goes what we would call Super Saiyan as a joke, and his hair becomes spiked up and became like a fire of flame, and his eyes are glowing red as he tries to as he takes each step moving closer to the Kara, and he goes in for just a straight punch, straight punch, which is his strength. That would be a strength check, but I'm not sure if it'd be a straight strength check. No, no. Probably just since it's unarmed, he doesn't really have anything against it. The modifier is it'll just be a straight strength, so nothing added. So 3d6s. That's it against his 2. So we'll see how well this works. Man, Axel's already struggling. And that was crap. And that was crap. And, alright, so Axel runs as quickly as he can, but his speed has been cut in half because he's feeling the weight of the gravity. And he manages to punch the Kara. Well, what was in his stomach, but it turns out he caught it, and then the Kara flattened him to the ground. Oh, yeah. And all he feels is the sudden weight of the power just like get even more, and he is unable to move onto the ground. So everything disperses, and Axel takes, let's see here for that. Let's see here. Any damage? Well, let's see what unarmed strike does. That would be considered bludgeoning damage. Nothing critical. I guess we'll just say 1d6. Because I'm not really sure how that would work. So there does leave some questions open for this. so the Crow goes and says, "Useless child," and begins walking away. Little does he know, however, Axel's like, "Where you going?" And he's like, "What? What?" He's like, "I may be a kid, but I can take a hit, and we're not done yet." And he's like, "I'm gonna make sure we finish this fight." And he just suddenly they're both gonna go in. They have to reach a cooldown phase, so I'm unable to use. Let's see, the cooldown phases for the Pyromancer. For both his things are 12 rounds for one, and I haven't really improved any of these yet. And he can use. There is no cooldown for Fire Blast. He can use it again. So Axel's gonna try again using his Fire Blast on this guy. Which is 2d plus 1. That is so weird. But we got it. And, look at that. I scored a 2. And I haven't scored multiple 6s, so that's it. So I got 2 points on that, and they have, let's see his reaction. I scored a 2. He's going to score, oh god, a 0. Thank goodness. Alright, so now we get to show damage with actual moves. Decimancers are a little bit weird, so they are different. 2d6 plus 6. So alright, so 2d6 plus 6, and I count 5s and 6s. So as the Krog got close, Axel began swirling fire right into a big Kamehameha. We're gonna call it a big Kamehameha blast. He forms it like right down it between his hands and just blasts him even further. And actually, the main hit of the blast, actually, you can hear hits his skin, and he's like, "Ugh, what?" And he's like, "What?" And he actually falls to the ground. But he manages to recover quickly to his feet. Alright, now. Hopefully I'm doing this alright. And he just gets up and he's like, "Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So he's gonna. All right. So now we're gonna run. We're gonna be exchanging blows. Oh nope. So then they go. So in this wave through a couple dice rolls, the Craw actually goes up to try and hits Axel again, but Axel manages to move out of the way, and he is going to try and hit him with and with him so close, he's going to hit him with another blast of fire to see how well that works. There is no cooldown for the fire blast, so the wild aggression there is, and we're not even at that yet. So yeah. Actually, he's going to use. I wonder how you use Fire Blast in a defensive way. I think it's the same way. So as the Croc comes up and hits him, he actually makes a wall of fire. Yeah, that's what we're going to. Oh, boy, that fumbled. That fumbled right out the door. All right, let's see how a fumble works. Let's see. Critical fail, fumble. Don't know. So I fumbled. So it's basically the blast did not happen. So yeah. So the defensive blast did not happen at all. So yeah, that blows. Um. Oh, I'm trying to see who's going to get the upper hand here. Actually, it might be Axel. Strangely enough, because he's the only one that did the most damage. He's going to try and hit him. Just hit him plainly. Damage is kind of dry. I gotta get some people to play this with me to see if we could pick it up a little bit. Because it's like when you're doing this yourself, it is kind of difficult. Oh wait a minute, that's right. Axel's got like. There we go. So Axel does manage to like kick him right in the face. He just jumped up and kicked him right in the face. So yep, he did do good there. But so it looks like hardly anyone has like the one who took the most damage so far was the Kara. He's very upset at this. Of course, he's like, I gotta hand it to you, boy. Not bad. Not bad at all. And of course, at this point, freaking Axel's kind of like just getting the idea of, hey, yeah, I'm doing great, right up until this point. There's one other thing that. Ooh. Oh boy. Bob the Kara. Yeah, I don't know if his name's gonna be Bob, but you know. So energy around him begins forming around the Kara. This electrostatic energy, like you can see lightning going from one place to another. And it's like lightning. But as he begins forming, forming this lightning. Um, we're gonna see as how well he hits. That counts as concealment. Awesome sauce. So I need to figure out cover. Cover concealment. That was very basic. I kind of like that. Cover. If you cannot draw an uninterrupted line between the hexes, the point. Oh. Wow, that. And a disadvantage is what now? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep, we're not at that level yet. So, yep. All right, so Axel begins making another blast of fire, but as the energy forms around, suddenly the rocks and everything around the corral begins to shake and begin forming small, like small objects, like they're sticking together. And as he releases the fire blast, like he suddenly forms all this cover, and the fire hits the rock. May not attack with it, however, though. So at this point, I do imagine. Okay. Um. All right, I gotta roll a strength check because we've been there is no cooldown, but we've been flinging fire and all kinds of abilities around here. So this does happen. This is brought up in the rules. It's called exhaustion. So I gotta do a strength check. Fives and sixes. I have to score no less than a 10 on all of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I count fives and sixes only. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I did come up short by a lot. So Axel begins falling to his knees, wobbling, as that he is superly exhausted. Um, and then the check for this guy is also 7. And he is also too exhausted. Um, however, so however, the Kra manages to stand to his feet, and he says, "How about it, boy? Are we still doing this, or do you submit? Do you call out, or do you finish the fight?" And Axel's like, he's like exhaling gracious, like badly, and he's like, "You win," and he falls flat on the ground. No human will be part of this Kara team. And he begins walking away. Axel wakes up about 8 hours later, or about an hour later. He crawls to his bed and he begins sleeping. And as he begins sleeping, he begins wondering how strong that guy really was and what this tournament actually is. The next day, he instead of going to work, he does read around town, or he listens around town about this so-called tournament, and and he finds out it is a tournament of tests and wills. They call it the Grand Galaxy Games, GGG, and it's basically where it takes place in neutral territory, and they are all going to they are going to have teams formed, but to do it, you must first enter your name into the tournament, and to do so, you must present yourself with a team of 6 or more members. The minimum team that can join is 4, but they recommend having 4 in case you want to trade out members. For like when they do start, um, it's basically only a few is going to be able to do it, but you can switch members in and out based on how exhausted they are and whatnot. So there are some rules. The 3 Gs, the triple Gs, GGG. Yep. So so we're going to talk about the Grand Galaxy Games. So he wants to get into the games, and he definitely wants to face off with that Kra once more. So, yeah, when you do enter, so it is in the rules here. When you do actually use your power, probably more than enough times, which I can say I did, without having a cooldown. The It's basically when you use it for a long period of time. Such as situations of aeromancy to fill the sails, sail a ship using petromancy move or rocks from a quarry, or continuously binding the creature. Basically anything where you basically use your abilities. Without having the cooldown, I basically wanted to add that so that way we didn't actually have to face off with the whole battle. That may be something to add as a story element. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. So, anyway, uh, plus, if you fail, you take a disadvantage and you lose like 3d6 off of all of your base attacks and stuff like that. My Fire Blast was only 2d6, so that's why he loses the ability of using his Pyromancy, is because everything is only, he would have been like minus 1d6 in the whole. Alright. Well, we've been doing this for about an hour. I probably bored you guys telling a story about this Pyromancer that is now going to find a way off this planet and find places to go and be part of the Grand Galaxy Games. Which, once he finds his way, the rules will be better explained. So, that's all I have at this time. I want to wish everyone a great and wonderful day, and thank you for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your day.